Hello guys, Sven here, bringing you the draft analysis for the CGT Champions of Galar Season 2. We're fortunate enough to be invited once again, and this time we have a new team of, is it 11 Pokemon? It was a very generous budget. I didn't have time to draft myself, so I let a friend draft for me. I took help from Eco. Uh, So everything except the Tapu Koko Eco drafted. And to be frank, this is probably not a team I would draft. There are some mons that I've used in the past. Well, I think I've used all of the mons in the past, but there are some mons that I'm not super keen on using that I don't feel like fit my playstyle personally. Of those being mainly Ferrothorn, uh, Umbreon, and Uxie. I think they're a little bit too passive for my liking and what I like to do with my team. But other than that, I think it's a solid team. Uh, and hopefully we can do some damage this season. The opening of the season is going to be pretty hectic for me because when week one starts, I'm going to be on vacation, or I'm going to go to Worlds and spectate in London. So I have to battle before then, and I leave on the Wednesday, so I have to battle in the Monday or Tuesday. And then the week after, I move to Gothenburg because I'm starting university in Gothenburg. Uh, Marine science is what I'm gonna start studying. Uh, so there's that as well. But yeah, let's just go over the team. As you can see, I drafted Tapu Koko first round. I got a chance to try Tapu Koko in the NCP summer slam run. It was one of the high tiers I hadn't tried this generation really, and yeah, I liked it, so I wanted to try it for a longer period, and it was the one I was most interested in using when it got to me. Uh, and then I gave the reins to Eco, picked up Zapdos Galar, which we had in the UBL when we managed to win. A really good mon, just a great scarfer. And yeah, so right now we have two pretty fast Pokemon. I think they complement each other okay. Yeah, and then you could pick Ferrothorn. Not a mon I personally love. At this point, I know Eco DM'd me and said he was contemplating going Rain. So that was the reason for the Ferrothorn pick. But yeah, he obviously didn't end up going Rain. But Ferrothorn, solid mon, a reliable rocker and spike setter. Just have to be cautious so that people don't just set up all over me on it, because it's a little bit passive. But yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, and I'm gonna have to look out for the fire weakness. Also, grass type that doesn't resist ground. Uh, if you look at the roster, I don't have a ground resist other than Silvally, Bug, and Grass. But I do have a couple immunities in Uxie and Zapdos and Drifblim. So, and also not too many ground weaknesses. Salazzle, sure it's a 4 times ground weakness, but like Salazzle dies to any hit, so it's not really mattering that much, so it's mainly the Koko. And then after Ferrothorn came Seismitoad. I believe Eco wanted to get Slowking, Mushlokin got drafted. So I ended up going Seismitone. Also just super reliable rocker, which can free up Ferrothorn to just run spikes maybe, and not have to run both spikes and stuff rock. Water Absorb Mon, nice. Swift Swim Mon in case I want to. Some week run manual rain dance on something and try and break. Pretty nice Mon, just as it is. Cloister, I knew he wanted to get a double water core, and yeah, Cloister, great Shell Smasher, Hazard Stacker, pretty bad spinner. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it doesn't do much other than either Shell Smasher or Stack Hazards. It's a mon I've used multiple times. It's okay, but it's not like the greatest mon of all time. 9 points still okay. Then Silvally was picked up. Gives me another defogger together with Coco. Coco probably not the defogger you want to run defog on every week. Silvally also able to plug holes depending on the matchup. Also my only dragon type, Silvally Dragon. And yeah, just great utility, parting shot, and yeah. I usually just run this Source Dance Flame Charge set because I'm terrible at using Silvally, so that's the only set I use mainly. And it always backfires, so hopefully I can learn how to use Silvally better. And then Yuxi, pretty fast, good, reliable Stealth Rocker, so I think I have 3 very good, reliable Stealth Rockers. And that's nice because that means I probably can get rocks up every week. Because there's not going to be a lot of weeks where all 3 of them have a terrible matchup and are not bringable. Also, a great utility on the Yuxi. Thunder Wave, Toxic, Knockoff, U-Turn, all that good stuff. And pretty good coverage. And then the mascot pick. Also, Eco's favorite Pokemon, Umbreon. Honestly, it's my least favorite mon on this roster because I don't like Umbreon too much. In draft, it's too passive and it's very easy to predict what it's gonna do. It's basically gonna have Foul Play as its main offense and then have Wish and try and pass it around or stay health itself. Toxic maybe. Yeah. At least it's a pretty good Wish passer with a decent HP stat, and it's very bulky. Then Salazzle, Salazzle Mon I actually like, very frail, but I think it's a pretty hard Mon to use, so it's gonna be fun to see if I can manage to use it to its potential. We'll see. And then Tauros, just good normal type for 7 points, good speed tier. I have a pretty fast team, which is nice, I guess. But also, like, there's a bunch of very fat mons and then a bunch of very frail, and not that many middling mons. And yeah, I'm struggling to see that many good setup mons other than like Cloister. I know that there are a bunch of mons that get set up, but that are good setup sweepers or reliable cleaners. It's mainly Cloister, and then Breakers. It's really only the Zapdos and Tauros, which is a little bit worrying for me. And then lastly, Drifblim, 4 points. Drifblim actually kind of good for 4 points, I would say. And yeah, I've used Drifblim before. Just it has its matchups. You can be offensive, supportive, and yeah, unburdened with the terrain. Could be nice. And yeah, that's about it. This is my team. I might make transactions because I didn't draft the team, but looking at the board, the budget was very generous, so most of the high tier stuff is picked, so there's not that much on the board, and it's hard for me to drop some of the high tier stuff that I don't really like and then still fill out the points. So we'll see. I'm gonna play at least 3 weeks with this team and then see if I can find any improvements. Otherwise, I might stick with it the entire way. I don't know. Uh, it's gonna be interesting. This is not a team I draft myself. I think I either lean very hyper offense. I like to have more offense, and my defensive wants to have a little bit more offensive pressure. But yeah, it's a pretty good team. If I do bad, I blame Eco. If I do good, it's gonna be pure skill, of course. But no, it's also gonna be the draft probably. I don't see any super glaring weaknesses immediately. Probably just try. It could be hard to close games versus maybe like stallier teams, but I don't know. I'll probably find a way around it somehow. Yeah, that's all for me. Sven's out. Bye.